Good morning, everybody. I don't even have to try it. I can tell looking at it. My coffee it's cold. Fired this old grill up this morning, about 35 degrees. It doesn't care. Good looking truck considering it's almost 30 years old. Build date on this was 1993. If you guys know anything about the Dodge diesel or Dodges in general, they pretty much ran the same square body forever. So it was a big deal in 1994 that they came out with this new, more aerodynamic, sleek front end, improved truck. It's got different front end suspension, it's got coils instead of springs, it's got the new P-pump. Running gear towards the back is pretty much all the same, but all in general, it was a new revamped all-around truck and a lot of good improvements, I would say. But being that this thing was built in 93 and they're still selling first gens till the end of 93, I think this is one of the first productions, first batch of the old second gen trucks. And I think that's pretty cool and rare on its own. Nevertheless, it's got a regular cab, factory dually 8-foot bed. Fortunately, it does have an automatic, but I think this is still a pretty rare, desirable truck. I looked forever trying to find one outfitted like this, automatic or stick, didn't matter, because I was going to do an Allison swap on it if it's an auto. And well, straight up honest with you, this is one of the most expensive 12 valves I bought in the last couple of years, and an Allison swap costs more than the whole truck. So financially, I said I'm not going to do that. This truck got put on the back burners for a little while. I did all the servicing underneath the hood, stuff that needed to be done, but just never got around to putting a service body or anything on the truck. Now that we bought the new cab chassis, this truck is definitely not going to get used anymore. So I'm going to do some more servicing on it, and we're going to put it up for sale. Main and only real thing that needs to be done on it right now is the transmission seems really slow until it gets warmed up. A lot of guys will get scared on something like that, but let me tell you, when it's warm, it works perfectly fine, no issue. And I thought maybe it just needs a simple fluid and filter change. We'll talk to a local transmission shop. They said there's actually a spring in these trans that holds system pressure, and if that spring becomes weak and fatigued, when the truck is off and the pump's not turning, that spring will allow bleed off in the trans. So when you fire the truck back up, throw it into gear, it's got to re-prime the whole system, or to a sense. If you look up how a torque converter works, it'll make a lot more sense. You got to have fluid in the whole system. Not saying the transmission's hurt, but we need to swap out that spring. How you test for that is you can't do any of this while you put the trans in park. You got to fire it up, put it in neutral, gets that pump spinning, and let it idle for a couple minutes and take off. I tested that this morning at about 35 degrees like I was saying, and it went into gear, transmission, torque converter, everything did everything like it should. So there's our problem right there. Swap that out, new filter, new everything else underneath there. And I'm going to add mud flaps because I bought them like 2 years ago and haven't installed them on the back. Got some for the front, not the back. Anyway, long intro, let's get to work. Now, if my memory serves me right, I'm pretty confident, it's a 1/2 inch or a 13 millimeter for the pan bolts. And this job sucks because they don't put a drain plug on these old ones. So you got to take out, I don't know, 18 bolts and leave the last one in just a little bit so that, you know, it doesn't just drop the pan on your forehead. Dirt to the face. Yeah, got it. Right size. How's your morning going? I'm trying to make a really bad mess. While I'm waiting for that to drain, instead of wasting my time sitting around, working on something else. So I'm going to put these new mud flaps on, and I believe they go somewhere right around there. We're guessing at this point. It comes with some stuff to put right here, but I always take my knife, stab into about 3-4 layers of this electrical tape. It gives you one real thick piece of electrical tape, and you just put that on there. Thicker, more usable stuff right there. These bad boys to go on there. Don't ask me why that went so easy. I'm on hardware too, so. Been using the Makita tips because the Milwaukee ones, they break way easier. There we go. Tighten this one up. Money. That went together great. One more side. All right, so I was kind of misleading when I told you guys there's a spring in there in check ball. It's a midline for the cooler. And this one, I believe, is off my buddy's 97 12 valve that we 5-speed swapped, so the whole cooler and everything was laying out back. It was working perfectly fine. Ripped the one off the current truck, the 94 we're working on now, and, well, this one appears to be brand new. We see right there, flow. This one says it right here too, flow. So there's a little ball down inside there with a spring on the back side of it. Only allows it to go that way, not that way. But nevertheless, I'm going to change that out right now. Ran to town real quick, got me a box of something expensive called ATF, and then a filter, which is only $7. And it comes with a new gasket. I opted to go with the non-cork, the rubber one. But I just wanted to check this because, well, I already know it's going to do the job, but this is off of a 48. Same thing. This trans right here was on my Mega Cab. I put a different pan on it. One of the factory ones, but I want to put this one back on this truck because it had a temperature sensor bung welded in, and well, that thing acts as a drain, so that's kind of nice. I'm never going to use it for anything else again, and if I keep or buy another one of these trucks with an automatic, it's not going to keep an automatic, so I'll tell you that much. But this is obviously dirty. I'm going to go out here and give her the old, this is the real rebuild kit right here. You got to get it set up and spray it with oven cleaner, and it pretty much takes it down to bare metal and then some. On German. By the way, this stuff is highly, it'll kill you. Mainly worried about the inside, but give her the good soak before you get any kind of moisture on it from fresh washing or something. Oh yeah. When it's foaming up like that, that means it's really doing something intense. Yeah, we're talking. That's the most foamage I've seen. Holy mother of... It looks like your DEF tank if you spill crap all over yourself. Called DEF. I don't know if you guys know this, but I was pretty well invested with energy drinks on a daily basis, and it's not healthy. I don't know if this really is either, but it's tea from McDonald's. But I quit energy drinks like a year ago, more, something like that, and my headache stopped showing up, and honestly, my daily energy and attitude got a lot better. So, that's my hippie talk for the day. But I went and got me a couple dollars worth of sweet tea, because this stuff is damn good. Our filter's a little bit, I know this is the right one. I'm comparing how it looks. You can see the color starting to come back a little bit on this. I do not smell nasty, burnt transmission fluid, which is a damn good sign. But you can see how these things they normally look. How is this? Oh, it's sealed. I thought I had a slipper in. Super simple filter. Double-sided suction on it, and it picks up right there in the middle. So while I'm down there, I'm going to go ahead and adjust the bands. There's a second and third gear band. Overdrive is a clutch pack in the back. You can't adjust that. That's just a on-off, no slippage. So, yeah, let's get under there. Legitimately rebuilt a couple of these trans. They're super simple. Like, there ain't really too much to them. I mean, I guess one could say they might be kind of complex, but I wouldn't. When I went to Wyotech, they had a class in hydraulics and transmissions, and they had Allison transmissions there. Those things are actually way simpler and apparently way tougher. The cool thing about Allison's is they're all clutch packs. So you guys are familiar with like a dirt bike clutch. Just, I don't know, 5, 6, 8, I don't know how many clutches are in each clutch pack, but that's all it is, just clutch packs squished together, just like your clutch on your manual pickup. But one of these, this has bands on it. I'll go ahead and check my second gear band, which is right there. That one has a tendency to pop an end off of it if your pressure regulator is a little sauced up and you're getting a little too much pressure, it'll pop the end right off the old girl. But back in the, I guess, older days, you had to pull the whole trans off, front plate and all that to replace that second gear clutch band. But they made aftermarket ones now that you just slip it around and then put the end ear on. no big deal. But right here, that's a simple filter. New trucks have a actual, what you call it, filter can. Good job. Are we there yet? I don't want to break you, but I will. Okay, that's done. Now, this kit comes with two different gaskets. There's the one we need right here, and this is the one that goes to a 727, the older one. Same filter, which means essentially the same guts stuff. But here's the one we want. Really hoping the rubber stuff, being that it was more expensive, is better than the Kirk. Find out. Cracked a paint can over the T-post the other day. You got her good. Let's make this slightly more appealing. Tin Man silver right there. It only takes, watch, probably 30 seconds just to make this look a little bit better. And then you get the 2x speeder up dry paint. Stuff actually holds pretty good. Look at that. This doesn't take any realistic extra effort to just make it look a little bit better. It's not like we're trying to cheap out on anything, but a little bit of extra effort will be noticed if somebody looks underneath this thing. Done. That time, I'm going to go ahead and put some of these bolts in, all of them. Key ingredient areas in the corners, I'm going to go ahead and push those up pretty far so I can get threads started on them. But the rest of these, I want to make sure that gasket don't move, so I'm just going to push them in a couple threads deep. And it looks like we actually have all of the bolts. Look at that. Didn't kick one underneath the workbench. I don't have a temp sensor to put in there, else I probably still wouldn't, but forget that. Put that magneto in there. Got a nice new shiny improved pan on there with the drain plug. I believe it said to do a fluid change on this. Whole system's like 15 quarts, but if you're just draining what's in the pan, obviously the whole system doesn't come out. Just in the pan, you got transmission cooler up front, you got the heat dispenser, whatever thing back there, and the torque converter. So with the normal pan, it said 5 quarts, something like that. Put 5 in it now. I got the deeper pan. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the truck and cycle through the gears, get her sucking up some of the fluids, and, well, start off neutral. Like you should. Up the old shop door, and there was a really loud clanking. Almost sounded like a cowbell, just really giving it something. Stop for a second. What the hell is that? Neighbor's driving T-posts. I really thought a cow was giving it to a cow. Or how did that work? Oh, 7.5 quarts of that round. Extra pan. Well, Callahan wanted to go for a test drive with old daddy here. So we're just driving around the property. Nothing extreme. Give him back to mama here in a second. And I'm going to go up on the road and let it go through the gears. What'd you think, buddy? Where's the horns? They're kind of weak horns, huh? Yeah. Got Boone over there too. Have to bring a rag. Looks like old Taco Bell wrapper. Put her in old granny mode. D for dictionary, or dumbass. Something keeps beeping. The truck's too old to have stuff beeping. What the heck? Just running through the gears. It's got 354s, so driving around town and back roads and stuff, I normally turn off the overdrive and just let it go 1, 2, 3 and then lock up. Feels good. Granted, it did idle in neutral for a while and build up all its pressure. I don't know if that initial fix was, or initial problem's fixed. Find out at a later date, but actually it feels like a very good transmission still. Like no complaints as far as these 47s go. The 4-speed automatic leaves a lot to be desired. Went right through all that. We'll go ahead and put 4th gear involved. The locks are up, 1200 RPM at 40. Tall gears on this old girl. Leaks, and I think this project's all but done, except for vacuuming it out and getting rid of the Cheeto bags. And put my poverty cap back on the whole tire down there. I need chrome. Callahan says truck feel good. Right. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Anyway, dawned on me just now. Got back. I didn't take him on my test drive. Up the hill anyway. It's got a Rennell bumper on the back. Those things are not cheap. And I got, you know, perfect truck for that thing to fit. So it's not going to help the resale value of this truck at all. Easy, bud. I'm going to go ahead and snatch that thing off there. I got a bunch of stock ones to go on it. Give this thing a good pressure wash. Top, bottom, clean out the interior. It does have aftermarket seats covers on it. Look at him, he's over there. He's fishing. They're like 250 bucks. They're like the Carhartt material, but not Carhartts. And yeah, obviously I'm gonna leave those on there. But if this hasn't sold by the time I post a video, I'm gonna ask 15,000 bucks for this thing. It's gonna be cleaned up. Maybe I'll show some photos when we're all done. But it's a good truck. I mean, good truck. Well, it's the next day. Let's see how this thing behaves and check out the interior. She's all nice and clean. Toyota Camry floor mats. Stay down, Boone. We don't need to messing it all up yet. Stay down, buddy. We'll go straight into gear once she gets fired up. I mean, this is a tragic bummer. It cracked. It was a perfect dash. Let's see how she behaves. Oil pressure come right up. Right into gear. Oh yeah. Granted, it only sat for 15 hours. Made progress on the transmission side of things yesterday. Old cowboy truck's ready to go for sale also. This thing and that truck. That one definitely not. I can sell both of these trucks and not even make a dent in that damn thing. For being in drive, I think that one thing about these trucks and any of the newer ones, it's like they don't like to be in first gear unless you're... Yeah, no, we're good. I'm gonna level that thing out, try getting my car in there today, but this thing's good to go. I know people don't shut the diesel off after running it for 3 seconds. You know how many times this thing's been started and stopped in its lifetime? Get my poverty cap back on there. Got my Rennell bumper off the back. That's actually the bumper off of Grandma's truck on there right there. Got that all done up nice. Got the license plate on, mud flaps on it. She's ready to go. Again, 15,000 bucks is what I'm gonna ask. And honestly, there's not a ton of wiggle room in that. It's a pretty rare truck. I mean, that's just ballpark of what I got in it. Clear coat, unfortunately, started coming off and the dash cracked. And this was the only blemish on it when we got the truck. Pine cone hit that thing. She's a good runner. Nothing wrong with this truck. Good to go. See you guys. Let me know what you think. Email in the description if you're interested in this old girl. If not, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See you.